Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the user and group management. So first of all, uh, so why we need an user or a group. So let's take an example. Like in a company, there are in a particular department there are different users based on their work, based on their positions. We have to give each one a certain amount of permissions. So for that, we create users instead of giving the whole root rights. We create users to grant some access to the system to them. So for that, we use user. And in system, to see how many users you have, we have to. Okay, so first let me clear a doubt of yours. Like most of the person will say, like if you want to check whether how many users are there in your system, you can directly see it by using, let's say, this command. Okay, so here you can see there are two users, alien and ubuntu. So most of the people will say that there are only two users currently in your system, but that's wrong. That's the wrong way of looking into it. There's not only two users, but there are more to it. So how you can look into it, let me show you. First of all, let's go to the etc directory, and then okay, here you can see there are number of users are there in my current system. So if someone says, like, you can see the users number of users in your system through ls-l home directory, so that's a very wrong way. There are a number of users in my current system, and you can also check how many are there. Just cat it and wc command for checking the number. Okay, so there are currently 37 users. Some are the system users and some are for the manual interaction with the human or users. Okay, so for that, now we will talk about how we can create a user in our current system. So for that, we are going to use useradd command. Okay, so first of all, let's see what is useradd command. So it is used for create a new user or update the default new user information. Okay, there are different options for that. We are going to use some of them, some of the main one. Like there are -m to create home, and there are other options too, like -r to create a system user. Then this is for writing password at the time, and there are too many options. We are going to check some of the most important one. So let's exit this interface. So now let's create a user to our system. So for that, let's write the command useradd and the name of the command. Now I just name it random. Okay, I'm just creating a user with name random, and for that, okay, useradd command is changing the system, is bringing change to the system. So for that, you need permissions. So I'm going to give it super user permissions. Okay, so that it could change the system. Now, okay, for in your case, it will ask for password, but I just log in into it currently, so it won't ask me for the password. So if you want to check whether it was created or not, let's confirm it. Etc password. Okay, so you can see here uh, random user has been created by me. But if you look into the home directory, so here you can see there is no directory has been come up with the name random. maybe in your case a name with random came up, but that's not going to be available for all the users who are doing it, because based on the different distros, may or may not your system will create a default home directory in your system. Okay, so it's the best practice to create the home directory at the time when you write the command. So let me take you how you can create another like user with the home directory, and for that let me take you an opportunity to delete it. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, so for deleting this user we have just created, we can use another command, that is userdel command. Okay, then we will name the provide the name of the user we want to delete. Make sure you write the current name, because if we write something else, it may delete mm, other names that may be important to your system. Okay, so we have deleted the user. Let's check it whether it was deleted or not. Okay, you can see here is no name with random. And okay, let me take this opportunity to explain what this is. Okay, so who am I currently? So I'm currently the Ubuntu user. Here you can see. Let's clear it now and check again with grabbing my username. Okay, so let me zoom it for you. Okay, so there are different entities here. Let me clear you what are they. So first is the username. Okay, so my default username is Ubuntu. Then for this it is like very complicated. It is your password, not actually the password, it is a hash password, an encrypted password for you. Okay, and you will find it like in etc directory under the shadow file. Okay, and this is the user ID, you can also call it like UID, and it is unique to each user. No two users have same user ID. And this is the group ID. Okay, may or may not be, two or more users can share a group ID. Okay, we will talk about it later on, what is group ID and how we will use it, how we add user to a particular group and all. Then we have like a system, basically this is a short description of like user information field, and what is like here you will just find Ubuntu. Okay, then the path to your home directory, where what is the path of your home directory. So here is my home directory of this user inside the home under the Ubuntu directory. Then the default shell for this user. So this is my default user account, and if you want to check like which shell I'm currently using, so here you can see it is same as written here. So I'm currently using bash shell. It may be different for your case, whatever you're using like ZSH or SH. So topic apart, let's see. Okay, what we are doing. Okay, yeah, so we have created an account, user account, through user add command, but we didn't get any home directory for that user. So for that we have to add a flag. Okay, which flag I'm talking about? The M flag. If you don't know, let me show you why I'm adding a M flag. Let's describe this user add command, and dash M is hanged. Okay, so dash M is used to create a user home directory if it does not exist. One important thing, may or may not, just without writing dash M option, may or may not your home directory will be created. It is based on your distro. For different distro, there's different ways to create the home directory, or their default, like for a particular distro, their default setup that will create your home directory automatically when you add a user command, when you add a user through a user command. But for in my case there is no such thing, so we will add user manually. We will add home directory for a user manually. It is the best practice to do so. So let's create a user account with home directory random. Okay, so here you can see we have created another user named random. Let's confirm it to password. Here you can see uh, a random user has been created. It was, see, use name of the user, then the password in hashed form. So you can see it. Let me show you how you can see. Then the user ID, then the group ID, and this is the basic. Okay, so user information field is empty. It may or may not be created. Okay, so for the next part, it is the location of your home directory for this user, and the default shell for this user. Okay, and one more thing about this user ID. Okay, so any user that has been created to interact with the actual person, to the humans, has been given user ID 1000 and above. And you will see there are so many user ID which is below 1000. So this they are basically for the system accounts. Okay, system user accounts. And yeah, you will also see like this kind of thing, user being no login. So not every system users need to log into the shell and all. So through this they are just doing their work inside the system. Topic apart, let's see how the encrypted shell, encrypted password will look like. So for that, let's check through etc shadow. Okay, we have got the permission denied because we don't have access to that. So okay, so let's add sudo. Here you can see. So for that, okay, so there is not any password right now. I don't know why it is for that. Okay, let me show you, like there's another option. I don't know why it was not created. It may be created later on, or when we SSH again. So for this user alien, we have hashed password. This is not actually the password, it is a hashed password till there. So let me select it for you. And okay, so okay, you can see like there's a hash password there. From this is the X to this part, and these are the basically these other numbers are number of days, like when Unix epoch was created, and like from how many days, from when you can change the password. So it is here 0, like you can change anytime, and there are so many for that. Let's not go deep dive into it. And there's one more file that is important to know. Let's see, and then defaults, and then I just like useradd. So I won't recommend it. So this is basically a file, default file, like what was being created. See, here you can see there is a shell. What default, if you add a user to the system, what kind of default values you are going to assign to that user. So those values are being defined in this file, and for that you can change this file, but still I won't recommend you only do what you know. Okay, that's the main motive. You will not mess up with this. Only do things if you know what you're doing. That's the best thing. So now moving back to the user account. Okay, so we have created the random user, and let's say if you want to uh, if you want, let's say we have, let's create one some more users with different flags, or you can say options. Let's see what we have. Man, user add. Okay, so the user we created using home directory as a values of user. D is for defaults, like whatever defaults we are using want to change. And for the expiry date, like you want to change the expiry. Let's say I want to create a user that will last for the till today. Okay, so I have to change accordingly. Like I can assign today's date, month and year in this format. And there's too many options, like this dash g is for assigning, like which group I want to assign, list of supplementary groups, which we will talk about in the upcoming in the next part. Okay, then there are different keys, and there are no log limits. M for is creating home directory. Then this dash p is used for password, like we can assign password to the user at the time of creating, but we haven't do so. We will assign password right now. Let's see how we can do that. So for that, there is this single command like password and the name of the user. So for that, okay, so it won't allow me because I don't have rights to do that. So one more thing, you can see that I can do anything with any user if I have the privileges or root privileges, or you can say sudo privileges. So it won't ask me about the old password or that, because we haven't assigned it yet. For that we are going to assign it right now. So let's give it some password. Okay, you can see we have assigned a password successfully to this user. And if you want to change, or if you want to change to another user, so how you can do it, let me show you. First of all, let me show like who are you right now. So I am currently Ubuntu user, and if you want to change to another user, if you want to change another user, for that you have to write this command. su is for super user mode. Okay, and the dash, then the name of the user you want to log in. So for my case, I want to log into the random, so it is asking for the password. Let me write it for myself. Okay, we have logged in into the shell of the random user. Okay, here you can see I am currently logging as random, and here you can see there's two different interfaces for that. And why show, let me show you. So cat etc, okay, cat etc, and the password. Okay, here you can see. So for my default user account, the shell has been the bash script, bash one. Okay, but for this random value, for this random user, we have assigned it the shell. This is two different things. Here we are assigning bash shell, and here we are assigning the shell. And why is assigning shell not the bash shell? We can assign it either at the beginning of creation, or we can change the default values which was there inside. Okay, I don't know why it is. So defaults, default user add. So here you can see here. So here you can see the shell default shell is shell. So we can change it, but still I won't recommend you. And you can make sure, like we can also make sure what shell we are currently using through echo shell. So here using shell, not the bash one. So now I want to exit this. So let's again log back to the default user dash and Ubuntu, asking for password. Let me write it, and here you can see we log back to our default user. Similarly, okay, so let me go back to the home directory. Similarly, we can log into another user, that is alien. Let me show you how you can do that. Ask for password. Okay, so I have already created one. So here you can see who am I. We have logged in as alien into another user account, and we can again come back to our default user through okay, so we have logged back into the default user account, that is Ubuntu. So here you can see, like we can assign different privileges, different users for each user in a company, like, and yeah, this is more about more than enough for like creating user and all. And okay, so okay, you can see we have logged out to the account. Let me log in back. Okay, so there is some error, I guess, from my side. Let's get back to it in a few minutes. So I am back again. There is some issue in the VM pipeline, so I just fixed it. So coming back to the topic, what we have done till now, let's see. So we are in the home directory, and there are currently 3 users in my system. So what we want to do is, like, we have checked there are 3 users in this that was accessed by the by an human. Okay, and they are assigned IDs with 1000 plus. And what if we want to, like, if we want to delete the user? Okay, let me clear the terminal. So what we have want to delete this alien user. So how we can do that? So first we have to give the sudo permissions, then we will use another command, that is sudo del, short form for deleting, okay, sorry, userdel, for short form for deleting the user, then the name of the user. But this will may or may not delete the home directory of this user. Did you get it? Like, when we are creating the user account, we have to specifically assign -m flag or option in order to create a home directory for that user. Similarly, we have to assign another option for deleting the user along with its home directory. For that, we are going to assign it another flag, that is -r. Then enter. Ignore this this message. This is just something else. And if you want to check, like, first check its home directory. Here you can see the alien user has been removed, and checking about its existence. So we can check it, like password file, and yeah. So one more thing, like, this is not the best way to do. So for that, we are going to use grep command and alien. If there is an account with the alien username, it will come up right at the moment. So here you can see there is no message, there is no output for that command. So we can confirm that there is no user left with the name alien. Similarly, for creating another system, for a system user, creating a system user, we have to use another flag. So I known about it. Let's see how you can check whether you know whether there is a flag for creating system users or not. See, you don't have to remember each and every flag. You can just remember some basic ones, and you can check for important flags using man command, or you can also use dash h. This time let's use dash h. Okay, so dash h gives you what, like man command gives you description of the command as well as the flags you can use with that command. But dash h command give you a kind of compilation of important flags and all. So you can see, like, we have used till now dash m for creating a user's home directory along with creating the user. Then dash capital M is for creating for not creating home directory. Let's say you have some distro which by default creates a home directory for yourself, for the user you are creating. So for that you can use dash capital M command option to not create a home directory for that particular user. Similarly, you can assign password at the time of creating the user. And here, this part we need basically dash r. So we will use dash r flag to creating a system account or system user account. And then there are more to it. Let's say let's use two commands. First is for system user dash r, then we will use dash s for shell. And okay, so we can manually assign the user id too, that's a great. And then for user group, okay, so let's first, before going to the system user, let's create another user with these flags. Let's use these flags more. Okay, first of all we will use dash m to create the home directory, then we will use dash p. Okay, so I have to write the password. Let's write the password with, okay, first of all let's give me the name of the user be fandom. Okay, kind of fandom. Okay, yeah. So dash p is for password, let's give it fandom2. Then we will use, like, okay, we want to change the shell, we don't want to use the default shell. So for that we are assigning the bash shell to it, and we will leave this u part because it will be best. Otherwise, what if we use some user id which was actually assigned to some other user, so that will create a collision and a haptic to me. So I will just ignore that part, and let's create the, okay, so we have created the phantom user. Let's confirm it. So it's have a home directory through this option. Then talk about the actual presence of existence of this user. So password, and we will use phantom. Okay, so we have created another user with name phantom. It has user id 103 and home directory here. And here you can see the default bash for default script terminal for this user is bash, and for others we have just see, like, we have created the other users with default shell, that is sh shell. If you want to log in, you can log in to, okay, so log in to phantom, asking for password, so I will give this, okay, I guess I just Okay, sorry, I just write wrong password. Now I will write the, I don't know, it's like kind of not working right now. mm, Bin bash walls. I guess I give the dash p is for password and dash s for shell script. I guess we haven't done something wrong. Let's log in back into the, okay, let's log into something else, some other user. Let's say random, asking for password. Okay, so we have logged in again, and let's back logged in back to Ubuntu, asking for password. So we are back to Ubuntu user. Then again let's log into Phantom. It shows some error. I don't know what it is. Okay, so there should be some manual like how we can sign if this is wrong. Let's first delete it. Userdel. If you want to delete it with the home directory, let's use -r and then Phantom. I guess I just I don't know, like password is okay, so I guess it was okay. What happens? So let's create it again. Let's first check it. What is where I just did the wrong. Okay, so we have choose -p encrypted password of the new account. Okay, let's go deep into this. Man user add -b -p -p. The default is to disable the password. Note this is not recommended because the password or the encrypted password will be disable by users. Listing the process, you should make sure the password respects the system password policy. But still, I want to do like, okay, so let's practice the best option. I guess we haven't write something wrong. What it was doing, I guess it was just encrypting the password or using the encrypted password written by cryptic 3, and the default is to disable it. Okay, so what it was doing actually, it encrypt the password, which make it like hard for us to log in right now. And uh, like we don't know what will be our password, if it was hashed or something, it was encrypted or something. So let's manually assign the password using the password command. Okay, so we have let's use another, like another option, -u, and here you can see we have Phantom -u. This time we will give it a random user ID, and we will also create home directory. Enter. See, it has home directory. Let's confirm its existence in etc. Password. Okay, so password. So it has Phantom, and it has the default bash. Okay, so says is the sh1, and here you can see we have changed the user ID manually by ourselves, and the user ID has been also changed for that accordingly. And if we want to change the shell, we can do that, I guess. So sudo user, okay, let's keep it like shell. There's no such problem with that. Okay, so to log in, into the phantom. Okay, so we haven't assigned any password to it. So first assign some password to this phantom user. Okay, for that we need sudo pass. Okay, so assigning password is like, okay, so assigning password has been updated successfully. Now coming back to the login part, asking for password. Yeah, we logged in. So going back to the default user phantom. Oh, we have just skipped this part. Okay, so phantom, no, we don't want to go to phantom, we want to change to Ubuntu. Writing the password, we are back there. Let's clear the terminal, going back to the home directory, then ls, and clear the terminal again. Now how we can create a system user, we will check for help and use the -r option for creating a system user account. So clearing again, giving sudo rights, then command sudo useradd, then -r, and the name will be sys user. I name it sys user, you can name it anything, and then enter. So there is no output. Let's say it was successfully created. You can check there is no home directory because we haven't assigned it, and we can check its existence. Okay, so password, and here you can see system account has been created with user ID which is less than 1000, with no system information field, and it shows its home directory but it was not there, okay, because we haven't assigned it. And then the default shell what we are using, that is the default shell, okay, the shell one. So this is all about, like, this is more than enough what you need to know about the user accounts. Okay, coming back to the group accounts, like what you can do in the group accounts. So first of all, why we need groups? So let's take an example, like you have a company. Okay, so in the company what you have, there's different departments for each field. Like you have finance department, you have an engineering team, you have a marketing team. So it's not a good practice to assign each person a separate user account. So it would be a hectic work for the system admin. Okay, so for that what we do, we create groups. Instead of creating a particular user for each of the particular person, we create groups and assign it to particular, you can say in this example, we can assign it to a particular department, and a member inside that particular department can access us, and it are also isolate it with other departments. That would be a good practice. So in this part we will focus like how we can create groups, how can we can delete them, how we can add users to a particular group, what are the ways, what is primary group, what are second supplementary groups, and there are so much to it. Let's see what we have. So first of all, like if we want to check what are the groups, uh, what are the groups, like my default user account has remembered. Okay, so there are too many of them, I don't know that much. So yeah, there are, like, if you want to see how much are they, how many are they. Okay, so it's not counting well. Okay, so there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. So there are 13 groups which my default user has remembered till now. And if we want to, like, if you want to see more about what are the groups assigned to a particular user, so for that we are going to use, first of all, let's see what are the users we have, then groups, and we can specify the name of the user, like what what groups it has remember. So it was assigned to only one group. So this is the primary group, and the other ones, like for my default user, these are the supplementary groups. There is no particular thing like mentioned about the primary and secondary. Primary group is basically which group that was been assigned at the beginning, and the other supplementary groups are which have access to it. Okay, so which, like, Ubuntu user has access to this supplement groups too, but the primary group is the default one, that is the Ubuntu. Okay, so like, there's more to it. ls-l. Okay, so here you can see, like, there's different directory in my current directory. Okay, so practice directory, and there's script, then there's another directory, trash, and here you can see the permissions. So for each of the file and directory, the default user has access to it, the default group and the default username. Okay, and we will talk more about this. What is this is directory, this is for file, dash is for file, d is for directory, permission rights in the next video. For just to know, like, this command is used to check the file permissions, folder permission, what permission it has, and which have access to it, like default user has access to it and all. And then moving forward, like, we can also check its existence, similar like we have checked through etc password. But in this part for groups, there's another folder, that is, okay, so there's another folder, group. Okay, you can see, so how many of them, let's see, dash l. So there are totally 66 users, sorry, 66 groups in my current system. And so here you can see my system user account we has been created has group ID, so also known as GID, aka GID. And for the phantom, we have manually assigned a group ID, that is 1010. And for the random user, we have, like, it was assigned automatically through the system, by the system, that is 1002. And for our default user account, it has 1000. That is the default value to to all. So 1000 will be assigned to those user accounts, to the default user accounts and group accounts. Okay, and yeah, there's similarly, if you want to know, like, more about what is this, so let me show you. It's like, this is the account, this is the group name, and this is the password in the hashed or encrypted format, then this is the group ID, aka GID. Then here you can see there's one more section, this is not the end of this line. And if you want to know, like, what should be there, so here you can see in this part, in this line, there is another section like Ubuntu, but in others there is no such thing. Why that so? Because this is a supplementary, like, there should be more to it, like this particular group has been also accessed, has been also remembered by this another user account, like Ubuntu, or you can say group account. Now, okay, so it is remember this group has been remembered by another account, that is Ubuntu. Okay, so let's first create a user group account. How we can do that? First of all, we have to give the sudo rights. Then for that we are going to use another command, that is groupadd. Then in this part we will assign the name as coders. Enter. First of all, let's go to the home directory, because here you can see the default like users we have with along with their home directories. So we have created the gamer group. Let's check it out whether it exists or not. Okay, so yeah, we have created successfully another group with a GID of 1011. Then we have talked about like primary and supplementary, so we can also check groups and coders. Okay, so so we have created a group like coders or coder. Okay, so we have created a group coders, but we had not created any user, so we cannot see about any user assigned to that group. So first of all, we have to assign what a user to that group. So for first of all, like we have seen how we can create a user account, how we can create a group account, how we can delete group. So how we can delete a group, let me show you. So first of all, let's make sure like we have created group and we'll grab it. We have created a coders, I guess. Yeah, so now I want to delete this group. So for that, first give sudo rights, then group delete, short form for deleting the group, then the name of the group, enter. Now again run the work command. So you can see previously when I just run this command, I get a group with the with the GID 1011. But when through this command, after running this command group delete, we have get nothing as an output. So here we can confirm that this group has been deleted successfully. And you can know more about this group command, group add and delete command through man command. So it is used for creating a new group, that we know. And this dash is used for assigning GID manually by us, just like we use with the useradd command, that is -u and -h for help. It will display the message in a well compiled way, not like this descriptive form. Then we have -p for password, but it won't be recommended, so won't use it. Then we have -r command to creating a system group, which was pretty similar to what we have done in the user count. So okay, so there's not much to it, as similar to user count. So let's go back and clear and create a new group again with the coder name. So group add coders, we have created group. Now we want to assign, let's say we want to assign phantom to this group coder. So how we can do this? So for that we have two commands. First of all is usermod, and the second one is g passwd. sorry, I just click enter. That's not a good way. So it gives automatically give what kind of options we can use with this two command. That is, first one is the user mode, and the second one is g password. So let me show you how you can add a particular user to a group with the user mode command. So for that, you have to give first sudo rights. So let's remind you again, we have giving sudo rights because we are changing to the system. We are just adding a group which can access to your system. So for that, you need some rights, some root permissions. So for that, we are using sudo. Okay. So again, okay, I guess. Okay, so again the loop has been deleted. Logging back to system. Okay, so again this has been this happened again. So let me fix it again. So we will come back in few minutes. Okay, so let's skip that part. Let's say just let's create a default let's create group in my own system instead of creating group, because there's some error with this VM creation from the server side. Let's not go deep into that problem right now, because your knowledge is more important than mine problem. Okay, so we have to first go to the home directory. So there's only one user account, so let's first create another user account. Sudo user add -m phantom with user with the shell being patch. Okay, so right now you can see it asks for password, and for that, for your case too, it will ask for password. So let me write it for myself, and yeah, here you can see another user has been created with the name phantom. So we can confirm it again. Password. Here you can see phantom user account has been created with the default group ID 101. Here the terminal. Now we will create a group account, group add, and what we have created back then. Okay, coders. Now we will assign that phantom user to that particular group, coders. How we can do that? Through user mod command. So let me show you. -a okay, so -a is particularly for appending, and the capital G is for the particular group, like which group you want to add. So I will just assign it coders, and you can also use it like -ag in combined form. It looks good, but here I'm using it in like more disaggregated form, so that it will be easy to understand it. Then the name of the user, and for that we will use phantom. Here there is no such output, that's mean it has been run successfully. Now we will check what groups it has been assigned to my phantom, and here you can see this phantom user has been given another group access, that is coders. So if like, let me show you one more thing. If we want to add, if we add -a capital G coders, and let's say we have given the, okay, so this is my default user account, and I'm also giving access to this particular group. Enter. Now if you know that, if you remember that groups command gives you the groups which was assigned to it, like these are the groups my default user has remembered. But here you can see there is no group with the name coders, but when we write it again with the username, here you can see it has coders. So by default it won't show that, and if you want to show this group name in this, we have to first end this terminal and check it out again, so it will show you the right name. So for now I'm not going to do that. So moving to another command that we will use, that is the gpassword. So this is another command that is used for assigning to assigning user to particular account. So first we have to create something. Okay, so let's first create another user add phantom 2, let's say. Now ls, we have created another phantom, and now we want to assign this phantom 2 also to the coders using the gpassword command. So for that, gpassword dash for append, then the name of the user, that is phantom 2, and then the group name, that is coders. So here you can see adding user phantom to group coders. Okay, so user mode is also used for much more things. We have used it just to assign the user to a particular group, but it is used for a variety of use cases. It has a variety of use cases. Okay, and one more thing, like you can first of all, let's see groups phantom 2. So you can see it has been assigned to a group coders. And one more thing, like you have an option with usermod command, that is -g. It is used to change the primary group of a particular user, but I won't recommend you, because you have to change different parts. You have to change a number of parts in order to like correctly execute it. So I will recommend you to not choose it. You can know more about this usermod command through this man. Modify your user account. There's different options like -c for appending, -b is for bad names, okay, it's for comment, this is for directory, and there's two more to it, like -e is for expiry date. Like let's say I want a group that exists till today. I don't need it for tomorrow, so I can add an expiry date that will delete the group automatically at night. So and one more thing, this may or may not related to your work, but I want you to remember this. So there's another like etc ssh config sshd config. So I just had something wrong. Let me okay, so let me write here. I want to add, so here if you don't have OpenSSH servers login installed on your system, so it won't be there for you, but I want you to remember this. Like if you want to access, if this was my VM, which is particularly not, so I'm not going to execute it. I will show you just to remember this, like Ubuntu for phantom 2. So this particular syntax, what it does, we can log in to my system. You can log into my system through this user account, but Yeah, it won't be effective for a large company, so we can use another syntax, that is allow groups, and we can add here for like coders, then market team, whatever marketing. Okay, so here you can add this, and again you can log into my system through this user accounts and through this group accounts, and this will only work if you have OpenSSL servers login installed on your system. So that's it, I guess. Let's not execute this because I don't want anyone to access my system. That's a very security something like security related stuff. So yeah, this is and for today's session. For the next session, we will meet with the file system and service like permissions and more with the package management. So stay tuned with us.